Hi friends, I am outside of Barnes & Noble right now. I'm about to go in. Today I'm going to be randomly picking my TBR. I've seen a lot of TBR videos. It seems like a really fun way to pick the next books that you're going to read for the month. So the way that I'm going to do it is, one, go into Barnes & Noble and have a look around at books, like new books, see what I want to read. The second thing is I'm going to look at my TBR that I already have, like on my Goodreads, and see, like maybe pick a few from there. And then the third thing is I'm going to go home and look at my physical TBR on my bookshelf and pick a few from there. I'm going to wrap them all in craft paper. You've probably seen other people do this. Number them and then pick them randomly. So first things first, I will quickly look at my TBR on my Goodreads and maybe pick two from there. I have quite a lot on my Goodreads TBR, so I'm just going to scroll and have a look. Ooh, okay, I already found one. I'm going to screenshot this one, The Reappearance of Rachel Price. I've read one Holly Jackson book, the How to Get Away Girl's Guide to Murder, I think it's called. Good Girl's Guide to Murder. But I've heard so many good things about this new book. Okay, the second one that I'm screenshotting is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. That's the third book in the Part of Your World series. I'm currently reading Part of Your World, which I should have done it the other way around, but I read the second book first, which is Yours Truly. So I'm going to add that and hopefully I get this one because I am loving the series at the moment. Now I'm going to go into Barnes & Noble and pick a few from there. Hi from my bookshelf. Okay, so I have all of my books here that I got from Barnes & Noble and then from my Goodreads TBR. So now I'm gonna add 2 or 3 books from my physical TBR to the pile, wrap them all up, and then we will get going with the month. One that has been on my TBR for a few months now is November 9. I got this at a secondhand bookstore. I've heard kind of mixed things about this, to be honest. I don't read a lot of Colleen Hoover. I've only actually read Verity. I have friends that have loved this book, but then I know a lot of you guys didn't really enjoy it, but it is one on my TBR that I have been meaning to read. So I'm gonna put that aside. This is another one that I got from the same secondhand store. I believe it's a YA romance, basically about this girl who is a catfish, I think. Not a catfish, but maybe she's not using her real name when she talks to people online. And then she runs into the guy that she's been talking to online, but he doesn't know she's her, if that makes sense. Maybe this one? All right, this is another one in a New York Minute that I've had for a while, and I love books set in New York City. So this is another contender. This one came as an advanced readers edition, so I don't actually have a blurb or anything. Fake their relationship in order to receive a massive inheritance. Potential. The Soulmate Equation. Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. The True Love Experiment. I think I'm gonna go with The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. I have a few of their books on my shelf that I haven't read yet, so I was just trying to figure out which one I wanted to add. So, okay, in a New York Minute. Does anyone else talk to text so much? Because I was with a friend the other day and I talked to text and she was like, okay, grandma, what I like about you. Sometimes a Goodreads rating just helps me out a lot, especially if people I follow have already read it. All right, I have all of my books ready, so I'll go through with you first what they all are, then we'll wrap them up and then we will reveal. So the books I picked from my Goodreads TBR. First one is The Reappearance of Rachel Price. 18-year-old Belle has lived her whole life in the shadow of her mom's mysterious disappearance. 16 years ago, Rachel Price vanished and young Belle was the only witness, but she had no memory of it. Rachel is gone, long presumed dead, and Belle wishes everyone would just move on. But the case is dragged up from the past when the Price family agrees to a true crime documentary. Belle can't wait for filming to end, for life to go back to normal, and then the impossible happens. Rachel Price reappears and life will never be normal again. Rachel has an unbelievable story about what happened to her. Unbelievable because Belle isn't sure if it's real. If Rachel is lying, then where has she been all this time, and could she be dangerous? With the cameras still rolling, Belle must uncover the truth about her mother and find out why Rachel Price really has come back from the dead. That sounds very interesting. I feel like I'm gonna like that one a lot. Next one is Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. When it comes to love, Emma is cursed. Every guy she dates finds her true love after they break up. But it turns out she's not the only one afflicted with this condition. His name is Justin, and his Reddit thread about being love's good luck charm has gone viral. Now the two have come up with an ingenious plan. If they date each other, their curses will cancel out and they'll go on to find their soulmate. Only Justin wasn't wasn't supposed to be so unbelievably cute and hilarious. But when Emma's toxic mother shows up and Justin has to assume guardianship to his 3 siblings, they're suddenly navigating a lot more than they expected, including catching real feelings. Has fate finally brought the pair together, or will their cure be more hazardous than the curse itself? I'm just keen to finish the series, and I really like her as an author, so I will also be really excited if that gets picked. Okay, then I went into Barnes & Noble, and the books I picked, okay, we have Emily Henry, Book Lovers. Probably so many of you are going, yay! Because I've never read an Emily Henry book before, but I feel like she is so loved in the book world, or at least like on social media. I always hear so many good things about her writing and like her wittiness. I feel like this one is so popular. I'm sure a lot of you have already read it. One Summer, Two Rivals, a plot twist they didn't see coming. Nora Stevens' life is books. She's read them all, and she is not that type of heroine. Not the plucky one, not the laid-back dream girl, and especially not the sweetheart. In fact, the only people Nora is a heroine for are her clients, for whom she lands enormous deals as a cutthroat literary agent, and her beloved little sister Libby. Which is why she agrees to go to Sunshine Falls, North Carolina for the month of August, when Libby begs her for a sister's trip away, with visions for a small town transformation for Nora, who she's convinced needs to become the heroine in her own story. But instead of picnics in meadows or run-ins with a handsome country doctor or bulging four-armed bartender, Nora keeps bumping into Charlie Lastra, a bookish, brooding editor from back in the city. It would be a meet cute if not for the fact that they've met many times and it's never been cute. Even that like doesn't fully grab me, but this book is so well loved. Emily Henry is so known, from what I know, as for like good summer reads. I feel like these two would be really good reads to pick up this month, like going into summer. The next one I picked up was Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. This one sounds so cute. I think it was like in a section that said like cozy mystery or something like that. Vera Wong is a lonely little old lady who lives above her forgotten tea shop in the middle of San Francisco's Chinatown. Despite living alone, Vera is not needy. Oh no, she likes nothing more than sipping on a good cup of oolong and doing some healthy detective work on the internet about what her Gen Z son is up to. Then one morning, Vera trudges downstairs to find a curious thing: a dead man in the middle of her tea shop. In his outstretched hand is a flash drive. Vera doesn't know what comes over her, but after calling the cops like any good citizen would, she sort of swipes the flash drive from the body and tucks it safely into the pocket of her apron. Because Vera is sure she'll do a better job than the police possibly can. Nobody sniffs out a wrongdoing quite like a suspicious Chinese mother with time on her hands. Vera knows the killer will be back for the flash drive. All she has to do is watch the increasing number of customers at her shop and figure out which one among them is the killer. It sounds cute with a little bit of a mystery, so I really hope I like this one. The last one I picked up from Barnes & Noble is called The Husbands. This is also, I realized, on my Goodreads TBR. I got it anyway. It sounds so interesting to me. When Lauren returns home to her flat in London late one night, she's greeted at the door by her husband Michael. There's only one problem: she's not married. She's never seen this man before in her life, but according to her friends, her much improved decor and the photos on her phone, they've been together for years. As Lauren tries to puzzle out how she could be married to someone she can't remember meeting, Michael goes to the attic to change a light bulb and abruptly disappears. In his place, a new man emerges and a new, slightly altered life reforms around her. Realizing that her attic is creating an infinite supply of husbands, Lauren confronts the question: if swapping lives is as easy as changing a light bulb, how do you know you've taken the right path? When do you stop trying to do better and start actually living? So they're the 3 I got from Barnes & Noble, and then the 2 that I just got off my shelf, I decided to go with November 9. Fallon meets Ben, an aspiring novelist, the day of her scheduled cross-country move. Their untimely attraction leads them to spend Fallon's last day in LA together, and her eventful life becomes the creative inspiration Ben has always sought for: his novel. Over time, and amidst the various relationships and tribulations of their own separate lives, they continue to meet on the same date every year, until one day Fallon becomes unsure if Ben has been telling her the truth or fabricating a perfect reality for the sake of the ultimate plot twist. Gonna try that one. And then the last one is The Soulmate Equation. Single mom Jessica Davis is a data and statistics wizard, but no amount of number crunching can convince her to step back into the dating world. Jess has been left behind too often to feel comfortable letting anyone in. Her mother disappeared when she was 6, leaving her to be raised by her grandparents, and her ex decided he wasn't father material before their daughter Juno was even born. Jess holds her loved ones close, but working constantly to stay afloat is hard and lonely. But then she hears about Genetically, a new DNA-based matchmaking company that promises to change dating forever. Finding a soulmate through data, the reliability of numbers, this Jess understands. At least she thought she did, until her test shows an unheard of 98% compatibility with Genetically's founder, a stuck-up, stubborn man who is without a doubt not her soulmate. But Genetically has a proposition: get Get to know him and we'll pay you. Jess, who is barely making ends meet, is in no position to turn it down despite her skepticism about the project and her dislike for River. As the pair are dragged from one event to the next as the diamond match that could launch Genetically's valuation sky high, Jess begins to realize that there might be more to the scientist and the science behind a soulmate than she thought. All right, so that is all the books. I'm gonna quickly wrap them and be right back. All right, I just wrapped all of them and kind of shuffled them around. I have no idea what is what now, and I'm gonna number them, and then I'll get a like random number generator. All right, I have 7. They're all numbered and ready to go. Random number generator. It's actually just on Google, which is very easy. So I went between 1 and 7, and I'm gonna pick 4 books. I feel like that's safe. I think I'm already reading 1 and listening to another on Audible. So I feel like 4 is probably the most doable for the rest of the month. All right, number 4. This is already very fun. Next, number 2, 7, and last one, number 1. I feel like this would be such a fun, like I want to turn this into a date night idea somehow because I feel like this is just such a fun idea. Well, let's start from the very first one. Okay, so the first one was number 4. Yes! Just for the summer. How good. Thank you. Number 2, off to a great start. Yay! Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. I do really hope I enjoy this one. Next up is number 7. Ooh, the soulmate equation. Okay, so 1 from my physical TBR. That's good. And last one is number 1. Book lovers. I feel like a lot of people are going to be happy that I'm reading this one. If I had to put it in order of what I think I'm most excited to read and what I will like the most, number 1, Just for the Summer. Number 2, Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. Number 3, Book Lovers. Hopefully I'm proven wrong and I really love it. And then number 4, The Soulmate Equation. I think maybe because all of these ones are new and they're fresh on my mind and I just picked them out, whereas this one has been on my shelf for a while. Thank you so much for watching. This was really fun to do and I'm excited to dive into these books. I'll keep you updated, so I will see you again very soon. Bye.